off sides. They catch him. The Broncos come back and convert the first down. Jackson scores. Then Ray Horton fumbles the punt return, and Sammy Winder goes in to score. That's all Denver needs.
Well, right now, Denver with a 10-point lead to start the third quarter. The pressure building on Cincinnati as Cleveland was an overtime winner today. And right now we're ready to kick it off as John Elway's on the sideline, but he'll be in there shortly, firing the ball again, having a big day with 3 touchdown passes in the first half. Browns were a 3-point winner at the close of overtime. Mark Mosley hitting a field goal that won it over the Houston Oilers. So the Browns go to 9-4. Here comes Ken Bell. He finds a crack. And Bell breaks it up the middle. A free agent return man gets it out to the 47-yard line. So right now the Broncos are on fire and the Bengals have a big problem.
38-yard return by Bell. Psychologically, the points at the end of the first half, the turnover by Ray Horton, flat turned this game in favor of Denver. That's all they needed. Now with 24 points on the scoreboard, I would imagine Dan Reeves would be very, very conservative with his offense. Bengals are really in a tough spot right here.
Vance Johnson, he's caught a touchdown pass his flank near side. Watson comes off the far side as the Broncos go to the run. Tim Crumry, the nose tackle, made the stop. As you look at the first half numbers, total yards close, but the mistakes that the Bengals made in the second quarter led to Cincinnati falling behind by 10.
Those numbers for Cincinnati somewhat deceiving because of all of the big plays.
Bengals going with Eddie Edwards and Ross Browner. 2 former #1 draft choices are at defensive end. Crumry, the nose tackle. Emmanuel King on the outside looks like he's ready to blitz, but a pitch back comes near to Wilhite. And Wilhite is taken down by Reggie Williams, an 11-year veteran from another of those football factories, Dartmouth.
Bengals right now in a spot where they pretty much have to take chances. Try the blitz. Try to come up with a turnover. If they don't, this is exactly the kind of football game that the Denver Broncos win and win often. Leading, home field. They've won 24 of the last 28 home games. They got it just the way they want it.
Elway sets his big tight end Orson Mobley out wide to the left. Mobley running a downfield pattern. Here's a throw to Wilhite underneath, and he's ahead for a Bronco first down to the 42-yard line of Cincinnati.
Well, I tell you, somebody, I think Sammy Winder got away with one. He tackled Reggie Williams. Wilhite, a splendid receiver, very quick. He just stands there and waits. Now watch him make that first guy. He tries to get by that first tackler. Barney Bussey makes the tackle. Denver does that all over the field. Just dump it off and have great athletes break tackles, turn them into big games.
Elway just in his 4th season, ready to break all the passing records this year. Completion record of Craig Morton will fall soon.
Screen.
It's another screen near side to Wilhite. Reggie Williams with a good play in the open field stops the play on a now 2nd down and 12 play, and Wilhite is again slow to get up.
Read very well by Reggie Williams. He drops back in coverage. Now number 70, Dave Stutter, the offensive tackle, comes out, tries to block Williams. But Williams fights it off and is there to make the tackle. One of the few times the screen's not worked today for Denver. This is a half roll right. Elway sneaks up there. Wilhite sneaks a peek. Loss of 8 yards.
Elway, a lot of time to unload that cannon. Throwing a strike, but Mobley loses it. 260-pound rookie from Salem College can't hold it, and that stops the clock with 11:52 to play in the third quarter. Eagles go to the locker room as a surprise halftime leader at the Coliseum over the Raiders. And Atlanta leading Miami in the third quarter, 10-0. This game went back and forth. Broncos scored first, 3-0. Carlos field goal. Then the Bengals came back on the ensuing drive and took it in on a 20-yard touchdown run by Wilson. They led 7-3. Broncos led again 10-7. Cincinnati led 14-10, but since then, Denver has been in command and leads by 10 now, 24-14. Elway so dangerous on the run, and there he goes. Bailing out.
First down.
Standing salute for John Elway as he runs it for 13 yards when there was no receiver open.
Last week against the Giants, he ran for a career-high 51 yards. He's got all kinds of time here to throw. Emmanuel King, number 90, almost gets him. He looks to that first down marker, and a nice slide for it, keeping the drive alive.
Elway, the lead pick in that famed draft of '83. But it wasn't the Broncos who drafted him. You remember it was the Colts, the Baltimore Colts then, who traded him. Traded signing rights to Denver. Second pick that year was another great one, Eric Dickerson. Winder takes the ball inside the 30-yard line down to the 28.
Well, I'm telling you, if the Denver Broncos don't turn the ball over, and they have had that problem in the last 6 or 7 weeks, but if they don't turn it over the rest of the game, this game is over. This Bronco offense can just nickel and dime, and with Elway's athletic ability, can get you out of a trouble spot with that 13-yard run extending the drive. Long second half for the Bengals.
David Studdard and Ken Lanier the tackles. Keith Bishop and Paul Howard the guards. Billy Bryan, the veteran center for Denver. Another throw and a catch. This time Clarence Kay holds on. He's down to the 10-yard line. Clarence Kay comes in the game and makes the reception.
Had the flu this week. Is back and healthy. You can see he's kind of winded. Watson takes Lewis Breeden 34 deep. There you see the reception right underneath it. And this is Dan Reeves' offense. They run so many multiple formations, motion. They don't throw the ball deep down the middle. They try to make the high percentage completion. This is a Denver ball game from here on out.
And a load of offensive sets the Broncos are showing the Cincinnati defense. Winder, he's going to go in. And Sammy Winder has his second touchdown of the day, and the route may be out.
Excellent pull by Howard and Lanier, 60 and 76. There's basically no one there. Desperation try for a tackle by Joe Kelly, but this is absolutely Denver Bronco football.
They have taken over the game, and really that fumbled punt turned it around. They scored right after that to extend their lead to 10, and they've dominated since. Carlos with the extra point, and the Broncos extend their lead to 31-14. We'll be back with the Denver kickoff after this.
So how much do you and Michael need?
Dad, what are you talking about?
This fancy new car. I know what they go for.
Really? We don't need help.
Where was it built?
Germany.
You need help.
Dad, come on.
Look how it handles. A car like this is expensive.
A car like this? It's a Volkswagen.
Volkswagen?
Mm-hmm. A Volkswagen Jetta.
Oh, and I guess you don't need my help.
Well, not with a Volkswagen.
There's something else you want to buy? Let me help with the Volkswagen.
We're MCI. We can go one-on-one with anyone in the communications business, no matter how big they are. MCI competes with a full range of data communications services for reliable transmission around the corner or around the world. Our competition is good. We have to be better. And because we compete, you win. MCI, communications for the next 100 years.
Mike, are you all right?
Yeah, fine. I'm just a little tired.
You've had 2 beers, right?
I had 2 beers here.
Give me the keys.
What?
Give me your keys. Arnie will take you home.
Sure, I'd be happy. Forget it.
Mike, I'm serious.
What is your problem, Rob?
The problem is you've had too much to drink. And you're my friend. So what else you want to know? Where am I parked?
Today's game is brought to you by the 1987 German-engineered Volkswagens and your Volkswagen dealers. By Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store. And by MCI, communications for the next 100 years.
Sam White's and the Bengals in trouble now, Trump, as they're down 31-14. Denver making it happen fast, getting the third quarter kickoff. Bell ran it back 42 yards, and then the Broncos were quickly in the end zone 9 plays later from 55 yards out on an 11-yard run by Winder. Joe Collier on the sideline casing it. He has put this Denver defense together that is closing down the Bengals. Everybody on the Denver team is inspired now as the defense comes out to try to shut down Cincinnati again. Bengals led twice in this game, but they got to go to the all-out passing game now,
which sends Denver in their all-out passing defense. Pressure. Sison not had a bad day in the first half. Eagles have had 3 straight 400-yard offensive days coming into the day.
Eddie Brown comes to the near side. They've closed him off. Louis Wright, a 5-time Pro Bowler, across from him at the lower portion of the screen. Throwing a strike. Collinsworth, 3 balls.
Hundley made the hit. Now, how are they going to determine who has possession of the football? Pointed yet.
Greg Cragen's walking around with it, the nose tackle.
I have not seen the officials point possession yet.
Now they give it Jerry Markpright, the referee. And so the Broncos make it happen on defense. They give their offense the ball at the 25-yard line of Cincinnati.
This was a heck of a hit by Ricky Hundley, 98. When Collinsworth turns inside, Hundley is right there, goes through him. Ball is still loose. Reagan looks like he's been over at number 71. Harden also there, 31. Jackson, 57. Second turnover of the day for the Broncos. And they've got it.
Greg Cragen, the nose tackle, Trump, is credited with the fumble recovery, but it was Hundley with a big strike on Collinsworth. He's giving away about 60 or 70 pounds to Hundley. And so Cincinnati's defense under the gun again as the Broncos come out. First down and 10 at the 26-yard line. Will Hart. 19-yard line. He got 7. Crumry again downfield to make the tackle. The 275-pound nose guard.
They just faced a drive of almost 5 minutes by the Broncos to score. Now the Bengal defense back out on the field. The 2 phases of the Bengal team, offense and defense, that's the one you want on the sideline the most. And in the second half, they've been on the field the most.
Will Hart and Winder both getting a lot of work out of the backfield. Lance Johnson goes in motion. Gerald Wilhite takes it ahead. Second down and 4 play and got maybe a yard. But the Broncos now running the clock with a 31-14 lead. They led 24-14 at halftime. The clock down to 8:55 and running. Broncos started this season winning their first 6 games, won 7 of their first 8. Then they've come a cropper in the last couple of weeks as their offense has not done well, losing 2 of their last 3 games. Elwood, a thrown ball and a good catch by Wilhite, who's down to the 16-yard line. Carl Zander hit him. Wilhite taking a beating, but coming back for more.
Just enough for a first down, Don. Excellent call. Very high percentage play. The running back simply goes down, feels where that yard marker is, turns around, and Elway hits him.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
When my kids said they wanted a little playmate for Christmas, what did I get them? A playful talking robot, Roby Jr. from Radio Shack.
Hello. Come on, let's play.
Roby walks and talks and follows them around, and sometimes he even leads the way. Time to clean your room, kids.
Okay, I'm coming.
Roby Jr. $79.95. Other robotic toys from $29.95. Only at Radio Shack.
You want to be up to date, and State Farm is there.
I'm State Farm agent Dave Stoffaker. When the Giulianis bought their first insurance from me, I told them my job didn't end there. It was just beginning. Our family insurance checkup helped keep everything up to date through 2 new cars, 3 new homes, and 3 new daughters. Now the Giulianis tell me they're expecting to be in for another checkup in a few months.
And like a good neighbor,
This time, it may be a boy.
State Farm is there.
Where's Stacy?
She borrowed the car.
Stacy took our new Volkswagen?
Mm-hmm. She needed the Golf.
Doesn't she know that's our family car?
Of course. She knows how practical it is.
I hope so.
She knows what the Golf is for.
That's what worries me. We expect our new Volkswagen to last as long as the last one.
Oh, she just went to collect some marine specimens for school. You understand that?
All too well.
Gerald Wilhite has given Denver Broncos a lot today, Trump. 10 rushes for 71 yards, caught 6 passes for 23, 1 for a touchdown, and 1 punt return for 5 yards.
He's on the sideline now for a much-needed rest. When Steve Sewell got hurt, Jim Reeves had to find somebody to fill that spot. Wilhite was the guy, and he's done the job.
Wilhite has not been in the end zone yet. Winder's been in along with Jackson and Johnson. But Wilhite has had the most yardage as the Denver Broncos now drive on with Winder stuffed to the line of scrimmage on a first down carry to the 16-yard line. Jim Scowl from Nebraska, rookie, made the play.
He's got some making up to do. He was the guy who was offsides that produced the go-ahead score on the catch by Mark Jackson. Look at that, 4 out of 5 their last 5 drives. That all started with that offsides by Jim Scowl. Jackson scored, and the fumble by Ray Horton, and Winder scores, and it's been a rout since.
John Elway on top of his game with 3 touchdown throws, goes to the draw play on second 11. You've got to do it all right here in Denver. 31-14 lead, and they boo it because they didn't get a lot of yards.
Not a bad call, though, actually. Try to spread the defense out. Try to pop Winder up through there. Just a good tackle by Carl Zander for very little gain. Now this is where Denver is most dangerous. 3rd down and long yardage. The only guy you don't account for in the defense is the quarterback. He always had a couple of big runs for first downs today.
To get it to Gerald Wilhite at the 11-yard line. Clock stop with 6:39 to play in the 3rd quarter. John Elway's numbers, handsome indeed. He came in with 16 touchdown throws, or he has 16 now for the season, against 9 interceptions, 3 today. But he'd been in a slump. The offense had not been moving the ball. They did score a lot of points 2 games ago, and they blew out Kansas City here 38-17. Broncos are tough to catch when they're coming off a loss. They were beaten the week before 9-3, and maybe the biggest upset of this season when San Diego came in and won, holding the Broncos to a field goal. This will be a 33-yard field goal by Rich Carlos. Everyone is going right today for the Broncos as they extend their lead to 34-14. The Bengals will try again when we come back to Mile High.
This Jetta handles great. There's this tight curve about a mile from my house.
Volkswagen's patented rear axle constantly corrects itself.
Look, I love Christmas trees, but I don't want my dashboard to look like one.
Form follows function. Everything is there for a reason.
I can't believe what my friends paid for their German-engineered cars.
Anyone can design an expensive road car, but to design an affordable one.
The best part about my Volkswagen Jetta? It's just fun.
We like to have fun.
You begin with raw steel. Shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it to razor-sharp perfection. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines. Imagine the power of two great computer companies coming together as one. Resources not just doubled, but raised to the power of two. Introducing Unisys. True competition in the computer industry, and a single winner will emerge. You.
Next Sunday, the NFL plays here when the Jets battle the 49ers.
Before your team takes the field, our team hits the air. NFL 86.
Don Craigie with Bob Trumpy back at Mile High Stadium. Big games can turn on one mistake. This one has. That fumble punt by Ray Horton, and now the Broncos have run off 24 unanswered points.
It's come down to mistakes by the Bengals that allowed the Denver Broncos to get in the position they're in. And with their defense, with Joe Collier and the pressure they'll put on Cincinnati, you can just head for home right now. I don't think Cincinnati, there is any way they can get back in this football game, unfortunately.
Awful tough to throw the ball on Denver when they've got the rush on and you have to throw it. McGee takes a tremendous strike. Woodard, 52, a backup linebacker, came down, made the head on top. As McGee going full speed was knocked backward.
The emotion is gone from Cincinnati. They helped. They kind of gave it to the emotion to the Denver Broncos, and now the Broncos are taking advantage of it, really popping them. Last pass, of course, completed by Esiason, fumbled by Chris Collinsworth. Pretty obvious why the score is what it is.
Bengals came in a very optimistic team they would win this game. Right now they're in deep trouble. Here's a home run ball, and Eddie Brown slowed his cannon, and it's picked off by Louis Wright. Louis Wright picks it off, his third interception of the season. They give the Louis cry, and one of Cincinnati's best players, although he hasn't been today, they haven't gotten the ball to him. Eddie Brown limps off.
And you're right, Eddie Brown slowed down. He saw the double coverage, didn't think Boomer Esiason would throw it his direction. Boomer did. First interception of the day by the Broncos, but the third turnover. Ball should not have been thrown. Double coverage. Trying to get it in one play. Louis Wright comes up with the interception. And so far the Bengals possession in the third quarter, now about 36 seconds.
He's been doing it for a long time here in Denver. The #1 draft choice of the Broncos back in 1975, Mr. Wright. Now Elway at the controls again as Denver looks to pile it on, leading by a 34-14 count. Gene Lang cutting back is cut down to the 31-yard line.
Congratulations, Louis. Thank you. That was a pretty easy pickings. He was back there playing almost the center fielder. Sometimes quarterbacks try to do too much, and in that situation, that's exactly what Boomer did. Tried to make something out of nothing.
Vance Johnson near flank. He's deep speed. An NCAA long jump champion. Elway's looking at him. Now Elway's got time to count the house as he throws downfield a winder, and there's a penalty marker after the play. It's like an interference call against the Bengals.
Reggie Williams was the man in coverage. When you give a quarterback, any quarterback.
Pass interference, number 57, defense, first down.
When you give any quarterback enough time, he's going to put the defense at a real disadvantage. Eventually, the foot speed of Sammy Winder is going to get him open. There was not much contact, but nevertheless, contact, penalty stands. And the Broncos got it going their way. This is like a scrimmage now.
There was a heavy snowstorm here in Denver earlier this morning. 7 inches fell. The field was covered. It's been perfect throughout. Snow has stopped. The temperature down to about 30 degrees now. As Sammy Winder takes it on and brings it out to the 50-yard line. Right now, I think, Trump, the Bengals are pretty well spent defensively. I don't know if it's psychological when you come to the Mile High City, but a lot of teams lose their gusto in the second half.
Well, think what's happened, though, in the second half. The Broncos come out and go score. The Bengals come out, complete a pass, it's fumbled. Defense comes out again. Offense comes back out, throw an interception. Defense comes out again. Yeah, it's going to wear them out in a hurry.
Marker is down in the secondary as the pass you see incomplete to Steve Watson.
People ask a lot why, when a defense is on the field for a long time, they seem to get more tired than the offense. The answer is defense is a game of reaction. If the ball goes 40 yards.
Illegal use of the hands. Hands to the face. For 24. Defense.
Rookie cornerback Lewis Phillips called for the foul, so the ball is advanced to the 46-yard line. It's a first down for Denver.
Once again, the defense has to react. If the ball goes 20 yards down the field, and it's Tony Lilly on the sideline being attended to. That looks like Keith Bishop getting attended to also. Anyway, is that who it is? Studdard? Yeah, Studdard, the offensive tackle. I'll continue in a minute.
Broncos ready to continue right now, although they left early. Clarence Kay was offside. Elway so quick a foot you don't get a shot at him, or very rarely when he comes downfield, because he gets to the 12th man, the sideline, and bails out. But the tight end Clarence Kay left early.
To continue my thought on a defense being worn out, it takes a lot more energy to react, and that's the defensive side of the ball, than it does to act, and that's the offensive side of the ball. No player can take a play off defensively. Offensively, you can take a couple of plays off. You don't have to follow the ball down the field. That's why defenses get so tired on long, extended offensive drives.
Here's Jerry Markbright, the referee.
Illegal motion, number 88. Offense, first down.
Game clock shows 4:37 to play. Broncos in the lead 34-14 after leading by 10 points at the half. They have scored 24 straight points in this game. They were behind twice in the first half. Next week, the Broncos go into Kansas City for a second meeting with the Chiefs. Gene Lang takes it down to the 48-yard line of Cincinnati. Leo Barker in the game makes the play for the Bengals. Talking about Trump Cincinnati being an optimistic team, Sam White said during the week, we want to win the division. We don't want any consolation prizes going in as a wild card. They build up their record to 8-4, which is more wins than they had last year. But today it all came apart, and really a big game turned on one mistake, a fumble in the second quarter.
That's when the 20, actually it was the offside, started the 24 points for the Denver Broncos. And since then,
drive alive, but the killer, I think, was Horton, and fumbling the punt back inside his 20, and they were back in the end zone again. Now Elway dumping it off. It's low, but it's caught by Gene Lang, and he's down to the 41-yard line. Second down and 12 play brings up 3rd and 8.
Again, time for the quarterback to sit back there, watch his deep receivers. If they're covered, find the outlet receivers, and eventually the foot speed of a guy like Gene Lang is going to beat a Leo Barker. Look at that. Both of those plays, too, a fumble and an interception for the Bengals.
Watson on the right flank, and Vance Johnson, or Mark Jackson, now comes to the near side. Phillips on a blitz, and Lewis Phillips finally gets Elway. They sack him for the first time, and it took a cornerback blitz to get him.
Cincinnati pretty much in a position where they got to do anything in the playbook defensively. Try to block the punt, come with the corner blitz, create the turnover. They have any chance to get back in this ball game, as remote as it might be.
Now Ray Horton goes back as Mike Horan's ready to punt the ball. The new punter for the Broncos. Horton's last try was that fumble in the second quarter. Horan hits it high spiral downfield, and Horton signals for a fair catch. Holds on this time, but back at his 11. So the Bengal problems mount. They get the ball, but they're 89 yards from the Denver end zone.
If you've ever tried recording the late movie and ended up with the morning farm report, you'll love Zenith's VCR on-screen programming. It lets you correct your mistakes instead of watching them. Zenith. Quality.
Everyone needs a little adventure in their life. So why not enter the Great Stanley Tool Adventure? You could win a Chevy S10 Blazer to get you away from it all. A Mercury-powered Larson boat to put you in the middle of nature. And $1,000 in Stanley tools to help you do things right. Hey, the Blazer, the boat, the motor, the tools, you could win it all in the Great Stanley Adventure.
I think this dock needs a little more work.
I got a lot of Stanley tools.
You might get caught out in the middle of nowhere with a dead battery, but I won't. This is a Delco maintenance-free battery, and when this green eye is showing, it means I've got all the starting power I need, up to 770 cranking amps. If you think your battery's fading fast, I'd start thinking Delco.
Now through January 3rd, get a $5 rebate on most Delco batteries. See a participating AC Delco retailer for details.
Never wait for trouble.
At Dean Witter, we'll help you put your financial life in order with a combination of investments that'll fit your needs just right.
Everybody is somebody at Dean Witter.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Friday, Crime Story follows Miami Vice.
What are you, nuts? It's party time.
Friday nights were good, but never quite like this. Crime Story follows Miami Vice, Friday.
See how the Broncos season had gone. At Veterans Stadium, they scored a 26-point win over the Eagles. Today, Denver has opened up a 34-14 lead over the Cincinnati Bengals. As we pointed out, the Bengals led twice in the first half. Now they're forced into an all-out throwing game, catch-up ball if they can, and this hasn't been working. Last time, Dyson put the long ball up, Louis Wright intercepted. James Brooks runs it at Denver and gets it out to the 16-yard line.
Now consider this for the Bengals, their last 4 possessions, beginning back in the second quarter. They fumbled, had a -2 yards on a possession, and then they fumbled again, and then the interception. Now this is, if the 30-second clock gets down to 10, this is the longest they've had it in the third quarter.
Playoff chances of the Bengals dealt a serious blow today. The Browns won. They went to 9-4 at their overtime victory over the Oilers. The Bengals way behind, and they have to go to New England next Sunday. But right now, Esiason stands in and lets it go. Collinsworth with the ball. And he's out to the 36-yard line, a first down for Cincinnati.
Tony Lilly and Rick Hundley there to make the tackle, a 19-yard catch. You can see the Broncos going with a total zone. 57 Jackson outside, Hundley inside, Esiason with time, and then the defense gets there. Dennis Smith also on an assist.
Collinsworth, a very reliable player. He went to the Pro Bowl 3 of his first 4 years in the league. Now in his 5th season. Wilson, a quick back from Oklahoma, gets across the 45-yard line. It's another Cincinnati first down, and they stop the clock with a minute to play in the third quarter.
The Broncos more than willing to stay back, not takes chances, just play that total zone.
The earlier scores today, a couple of overtime games. The Bears and the Browns were overtime winners. Tampa Bay having a forgettable year. Raiders have now come back and have gone in front of Philadelphia. Swing pass to James Brooks in the open field. Tony Lilly draws a bead, and then he's knocked out of bounds at the 43-yard line. But it's a gain of 11 yards. It's another Cincinnati first down.
It's also a little too late. Down 34-14. This is more what the defense is allowing Cincinnati to do than what Cincinnati is taking.
Got to play the whole thing out. Remember the Raiders the other night at San Diego.
Oh, yeah.
Led 31-10 in the third quarter.
How about Green Bay versus Minnesota?
That was beyond belief.
Excuse me, Green Bay versus Detroit on Thanksgiving Day.
Sometimes the weather changes things, although it looks like the snowfall will hold off. Much more has been predicted. Esiason, nobody there. On the run, he gets it out to Collinsworth, who catches the ball and goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. probably the toughest catch of this day, either way.
Kept his feet in bounds, too. Tony Lilly there to push him out of bounds. Esiason has only been sacked once today, so the offensive line hadn't done too bad a job. Jones comes in with 13.5 sacks, and that's Joe Walter doing a pretty good job on.
How about a real good job?
A very good pass rusher. Collinsworth trying to find a spot where Boomer Esiason can see him and the catch.
The Bengals, who need badly to get in the end zone and fast, now go to the run. Straight up the middle, a driving tackle is put on. Ricky Hundley, who leads the team in tackles, makes the strike, knocking down Stanford Jennings. The game clock down to 30 seconds to play in the third quarter, and the Broncos in command 34-14.
Hundley not only leads the Denver Broncos in tackles, but also in assists. Was drafted by Cincinnati, traded to Denver for what turned out to be Tim McGee and David Fulcher.
Throwing a catch to McGee. He is down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6 yards on the play. There have been a lot of wild endings over the years here in Denver. One year, the Bills of Buffalo came in, led Denver at halftime 38-7. Big snowstorm, and the Broncos scored 31 points to tie it.
The trenches.
We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, a man's obsession, a young girl's secret life, a family's love. Richard Crenna stars in The High Price of Passion tonight.
Available now on videotape, it's Bronco Mania. There's nothing else like it. It's jam-packed, mile-high energy. It's the bone-jarring Orange Crush defense. It's John Elway's rifle right arm. It's a Rocky Mountain tradition. On videotape, it's Bronco Mania, sponsored by KCNC TV, and at only $19.95. A decade of mighty hits, last-minute victories, and 1986's playoff push can be yours. Available at leading outlets. Get yours for only $19.95 now.
When an urgent package leaves your hands, make sure the hands you leave it in can deliver. Express Mail overnight service from your post office delivers over city, over state, overnight, over whatever stands in the way, over 97% of the time, and climbing, for about half what most others charge. £2, just $10.75. Express Mail overnight service. When we say overnight, we mean overnight.
Ladies and gentlemen, not everyone got a vacation this summer.
I need a vacation like nobody's business. I need a vacation.
This fall, you can still get great low fares to more places on the biggest bargain airline, United.
I got a vacation. Give me another shot at it. And I'm not just flying, I'm flying the friendly sky.
Nice soft landing.
How new tax laws will affect the elderly, Monday at 4:30.
Numbers almost even. That time of possession, almost all of the third quarter for the Denver Broncos. That's been the difference.
They don't pay off on total yards, though. Bottom line on the scoreboard, 34-14 Denver. Broncos have had 56 plays already in this game. The 37 for Cincinnati. Now the Bengals go to that sideline offense where they go right out into alignment after a sideline conference with Coach Sam White. James Brooks in trouble as big Kyle Mecklenburg throws him down. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the National Football League is prohibited.
Got some confusion. Esiason's trying to go up the line of scrimmage, and White's trying to send players in.
We're in the first minute of the fourth quarter. Throwing a catch to Collinsworth as he is down inside to the 7-yard line. So the Bengals making some stuff happen, and they need a lot more to get back in this.
Again, Esiason rolling against his arm to the right side. Collinsworth just trying to find a spot back in there in the defense. He gets kind of lost. There's Mark Haynes, 36, and Wilson there, along with Lilly to make the tackle. First and goal Bengals.
First and goal it is. Dave Remington, the center. Montoya and Kazerski, two huge guards. Munoz and Walter, the tackles. They're even bigger. Crowd starts up, wanting to keep Cincinnati out. Esiason, he's looking. He fires. It's caught and lost by Chris Collinsworth. Had it, and Tony Lilly stripped the ball from him.
That is a great defensive play by Tony Lilly. The game started with a big play by Dennis Smith, knocking a pass reception away. This is a sure touchdown. Lilly waits on him. Now watch. Just pulls his left arm away, and Collinsworth can't hang on to it.
So it'll be second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Bengals down. They've not scored in a long time since the first half of the second quarter. Cincinnati's longest drive of the game right now. Esiason in trouble. He can go. Defenders wait for him. He fires on the run. It's a touchdown to Collinsworth. And the Bengals come down the field with still 13:20 to play. It is now a 34-20 game.
We said it before with John Elway. It's also true with Boomer Esiason. Both are great creators, and if you give a quarterback time, eventually the receiver can find a spot open. Collinsworth, you should see his feet at the back of the end zone. He gets away from the defender. An excellent move. Mark Haynes, 36, I believe, had him. And Collinsworth makes the catch.
Big day for Chris. He's caught 6 for 62 yards. Now Breach is on to try the point after. Lazar sharp down the middle, and so the Bengals inch back into it and take the crowd out of the game, at least for now. It's a 34-21 game. Denver. But the Broncos offense gets it in a moment.
Fords riding the streets and trails and roads. We're carrying people and hauling loads. When tough men need tough trucks and goods not enough. America's truck is built for tough.
Here comes the new shape of tough. The big Ford pickup for '87 with a new aerodynamic design. Completely new interior. New anti-lock rear brakes. And a lineup of power choices that should keep it America's best-selling truck for the 10th straight year.
You can go to the good times or work in the rough. When you're talking Ford truck, then you're talking tough. Ford's #1 now, and we mean to stay by building them better in every way. When tough men need tough trucks and goods not enough. America's truck is built for tough.
So the issue is clear. Sony Video 8, the system of the future, or VHS-C, the compromise of the past. Now, as we've seen, the new Sony Handycam with autofocus and zoom gives you a measurably better picture, far superior sound, twice the recording time, and on Sony video cassettes, your memories are safe. While on VHS-C, they could be fleeting. I rest my case.
The Sony Video 8 system. Judge for yourself.
Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Bengals with their longest drive of the day take it down the field, now trail 34-21. Denver has not turned the ball over. Usually it happens before 4 quarters. Somebody's going to pop it loose.
Fumble. No, I thought it.
They think they have it.
It looked like Ed Brady stripped that ball from the receiver, from the returner.
We might have a check of this now.
That ball looked like it came loose. There's no question that the Bengals now.
No sooner said.
Anytime when they get a chance, they're going to try to strip the ball away. It looked like before Ken Bell got down, Brady got it stripped away. Officials are talking. Of course, with any replay, that gives the replay official another look at it.
Jack Reeder's up here furiously running tapes back and forth.
Ed Brady, the special teams maniac for the Bengals, Is the receiver down? Ken Bell. That ball is a fumble.
No, that's a fumble.
That is a fumble. His momentum was not stopped going forward. We may have a reversal here. He's asking, did somebody blow the whistle? Did somebody blow the whistle? He's asking. They're waiting to look. There's the umpire. He's in communication with the replay. The communicator from the replay booth says it will.
Might be Cincinnati's ball.
It's going to go as a fumble.
It's definitely a fumble, we're told, but they're trying to find out if the whistle blew. I don't know how the whistle can blow when he's not down and he's going forward.
I think that's inconsequential. If the whistle is blown before, then they don't go to the replay guy. This is what makes the replay system look bad. They're asking afterwards, did the whistle blow? They should have asked before, did the whistle blow?
The whistle was blown.
Come on.
First down.
That's poorly handled.
He asked if the whistle was blown. He was lobbying for a whistle to be blown.
That was a fumble. Saw the ball. He was not down and he was still moving forward when he lost the ball. So the Broncos get it and hold to their 34-21 lead now. Gene Lang, he pays the price as the Cincinnati defense obviously up after the long drive by the offense that took them into the end zone. Atlanta still leading Miami. The Dolphins go back the other way after blowing out the Jets 45-3. The Eagles are staying right with the Raiders. It's now 24-20 in the third quarter at the Coliseum.
Here's what happened on that last fumble. The replay official said it was a fumble. Then the guys on the field said, how about a whistle? Anybody blow the whistle? That's the wrong order.
Now Elway dropping to throw. Downfield, he's got a man. Watson coming back at the ball as he's done so many times over the years with Elway. When John's in trouble, Watson comes back and Elway guns it.
Elway again. That great arm, carries the ball high. Good lesson for young quarterbacks. Keep it up there next to your ear where you can throw it in a split second. Elway does. Watson makes a nice reception.
Bengals have not gotten a break in this game. Denver has, and the Broncos have capitalized. They lead 34-21. But the Bengal defense now, the intensity level right back up to where it was early in the game.
Well, that touchdown helps with 11:44 and ticking to go in the football game.
Elway bringing his team in and out of the huddle at his leisure, running clock as much as he can. It's down to 11:30 to play in the game. Joey Hackett, another huge tight end, is in. He weighs 270. Mobley next to him, he weighs 265. Biggest guys in that offensive line are the tight ends of Denver. Elway on 2nd and 8. Another good throw. Joey Hackett takes it. That's the 270-pound tight end, a first-year player from Elon, and he's down to the 45-yard line of Cincinnati. David Fulcher slow getting up after he took on that load.
12-yard reception just designed to pick up the first down. Elway's latched onto him. Look at that. You're right, Don. Look at there. There are 3 linemen for the Broncos that don't weigh as much.
And he got downfield.
And
Game
he can
clock
catch it.
down to 10:33 and running. Fourth quarter. Broncos had a 24-point string, and then the Bengals came back to score, and now it's 34-21 Denver. Winder in trouble. He's smacked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Let's watch that return again, the kickoff return by Denver that was questioned as a possible fumble.
Looking for a stoppage in his forward motion. No way the whistle blows in there. But the manner in which it was all handled was very shoddy. You don't ask second is the whistle blew. You could read Jerry Markwright's lips. Did the whistle blow? That's the wrong order in which the replay system should be utilized. But the play stood. Drive stays alive.
Now, 2nd down, and Elway needs over 11. He's in trouble. Going in on John Elway on the run, and Zander knocks him out of bounds before he gets there. Carl Zander with a big defensive play.
Jim Anderson, the offensive backfield coach of the Bengals, stopped Elway from going into the bench.
A couple of years ago, when the Bengals opened the season here, Elway went out of the game when Ross Browner ran him down and injured his shoulder on a running play. Elway has now completed 19 of 27 for 188 yards. He's not been intercepted. 3 of his throws for touchdowns. He's run the ball twice for 19 yards. I'll let John do it. It's been the game plan in Denver, and he's been doing it. Now, third down. Throw and not close to a completion. And so the Bengals will get it back. The punter, Horan, comes out for Denver.
Clint Sampson was the intended receiver there open. Elway mad at himself that he couldn't make the completion.
Cincinnati's still in it with 10:08 to play. If they can move on this drive.
There'd have been a lot more in it if that fumble had gone as a fumble.
That was at the 34-yard line of Denver. Ray Horton is back. Fair caught the ball twice today and fumbled one of those, which the Broncos quickly turned into a touchdown. Moran angles it down to the corner. It goes in. Touchback. Cincinnati will go 1st and 10 at the Bengals 20. When we come back to Mile High Stadium, a salute to the Broncos.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
We got Billy just what he wanted. The Radio Shack 4x4 off-road. Look at it take those hills. And Terry got the off-road champ. Look at her go. And guess what Mom got?
Lunch is ready.
And me, I'm the flashy type. Always wanted a Ferrari.
Radio-controlled toys for kids of all ages from $11.95. Only at Radio Shack.
The 35mm automatic one-touch from Nikon. It puts great photography at everybody's fingertips. The Nikon 35mm Action Touch. The waterproof, all-weather, automatic camera that puts great photography at everybody's fingertips.
Now here's your burger, and
Sometimes brakes can give you a gentle hint that they need a little work.
Take it to Midas.
Over 4 million people have trusted their brakes to Midas. Good price, good guarantee. We won't break you.
Whoops. Take it to Midas.
Whoops. Huh?
Take it to someone you trust.
On 1986, Democrat Jim Wright, he's shrewd, hot-tempered, and the next Speaker of the House. Join Roger Mudd when he tangles with this tough Texan, Tuesday on 1986.
Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Denver. The Broncos have not turned the ball over in this game, but they almost did.
Yeah, I thought on a kickoff return, the manner in which it should be handled is that if you blow the whistle, you don't go to the replay official. There you can see Ed Brady strips the ball from Kevin Bell. That is definitely a fumble, but the crew, I think, now around the NFL are using that whistle to stop the overturn of some plays.
Throwing a catch as again the underneath passing game of Esiason and the Bengals moves the ball.
And you mentioned that the Broncos have not turned the ball over today. They also have had just 2 penalties. They have played almost a perfect football game.
9:54 to play. And as they get out of bounds, you see Boomer Esiason, first Bengal quarterback to get 3,000 yards passing in consecutive seasons. He was the number 2 rated passer in the entire league last year. Big, strong-arm left-hander from Maryland. In his 3rd year, he was the first quarterback pick, even though he came in the 2nd round of the Bengals. Another throw and catch, Brooks. And again, they used the sideline to stop the clock. 9:47 to play. First down throw, and they got 9. Atlanta still in command of favored Miami down at the Orange Bowl, and the Raiders holding on to a tight lead over the Philadelphia Eagles. Still in the 3rd quarter at the Coliseum. Starting the day, the Raiders, who'd won 8 of their last 9, We're just one game behind Denver in the AFC West. We got a couple of courts low. Eddie Brown, how does he do it? Eddie Brown comes back at the ball and makes a stretched out reception down at the 46-yard line. And the Bengals drive on with 9:30 to play. Cincinnati is down by 13 points. They were down by 20 not that long ago.
That's a 13-yard reception. Esiason looking all over the place for an open receiver. Finally finds Brown. This is an outstanding catch. Louis right on the tackle. Bengals back to the line of scrimmage and another offensive play.
Esiason changes the play. Crowd noise a major factor here. Again, strong pass blocking. Another throw, another catch. Collinsworth is going in. Chris Collinsworth is in. And the Bengals are back to within 7 points.
46-yard catch. No flags on the play. Last week, the Denver Broncos missed a coverage against the New York Giants and allowed Phil McConkey a long play down the field. Collinsworth this time, it looks like prevent defense. And somebody just misses it. They stay with Tim McGee, who came across. Looked like Dennis Smith, 49, was on the ground. Foley was the closest man to him. What a comeback.
Trump, I'm glad we didn't go home when you called this one over.
What a comeback. And the Broncos have not turned the ball over.
Not turned the ball over. As you pointed out, only 2 penalties against them. Now Jim Breach can bring the Cincinnati Bengals back to within 6 with still almost 9 minutes to play. A stirring comeback by the Cincinnati Bengals. The extra point is up and good. As that time it took the Bengals barely a minute, 61 seconds to go 80 yards. Collinsworth on the payoff end for a second time.
Drivers have come to us. They believe in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm a safe driver, so I shopped around for car insurance. Liberty Mutual gave me the best protection and saved me money, too. I believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I always thought that time was a measure of quality. Now they've got technology that can cut the time of aging beer to that. Bam. Instant beer. Not Coors. Coors ages their beer longer than any other major brewer. Almost twice as long. To age any beer longer, it gets smoother. More easy drinking. More like Coors. Nope. Coors won't take shortcuts with time. Coors is the one.
Okay, I know the new Ford Taurus has a very contemporary design. In fact, I really like the way it looks. But looks aren't everything.
Check it out for yourself. So, what do you think?
I'll let you know in a couple of 100 miles.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
America's favorite pastime returns to NBC as the nation's top rollers battle it out for Bowler of the Year honors. Join Jay Randolph and Hall of Famer Earl Anthony for the PBA Fall Tour next Saturday on NBC.
The pendulum has swung in this game. The Bengals, during one stretch, gave up 24 unanswered points to the Broncos. Now Cincinnati's come back to score 14 straight points, and they're right back in the game, and very quickly. 8:58 to play, and Cincinnati down by 20, and not long ago is down by just 6. Up to handle. Bell, who's run it back very well today. 2 35-yard returns, is hit hard at the 20. Leon White came down to make the play for Cincinnati.
Now suddenly the pressure back on the Denver offense.
Is it?
They got to have a sustained drive here just to kind of nullify the threat and take away some of the emotion of the Bengals team.
John Elway having a big day. And a bit conservative the last couple of drives. with a big lead, but Cincinnati has had 2 long scoring drives to get right back in it. Now Elway starts to fire on first down. And the big man, Mobley, the tight end, comes down with the ball. Orson Mobley, a house of a tight end.
Charles Zander on the tackle. There was just almost a hitch pattern by the tight end. Good enough for a first down. Boy, you get it in the hands of that guy. He's difficult to bring down.
Denver, when the Broncos have been on defense, has done an excellent job at jamming the Cincinnati receivers. But now here in the 4th quarter, the veteran Chris Collinsworth has been running free in the Denver secondary, and Esiason's been getting him the ball. The last time for 46 yards and a touchdown. Whoa. On first down, the carrier is Waffle. Sammy Winder hit hard. Now a penalty marker comes in after the play.
Jim Scow made the tackle. Conversation with the refereeing crew, and the flag is picked up. Will the penalty stand?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 90.
That's Emmanuel King.
First time we've called his name all day.
Did you see something? There's a King right in front of you, number 90. When Sammy Winder makes the hit. Unfortunately, King goes out of the picture, but boy, that's a very expensive penalty for the Bengals at this point. Gives some emotion back to Denver.
Would have been 3rd down and long, but the Bengals now go to a defense set up against a first down offense of the Denver Broncos. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Broncos. Elway, lightning strike off the flank. Near side, Watson comes down to the 38-yard line.
Fulcher and Breeden, you can see the slant pattern by Watson, and both Breeden and Fulcher are still on the ground. Watch Watson. Breeden has the outside leverage. Well, that's a tough catch. Watson knows he's going to get leveled, hangs onto the football. That's a 16-yard pickup. And when Denver's offense has had to make the big plays, they've done it.
Bengals have not gotten anything close to a break in this game. They're down by 6 after trailing by 20, but now Elway and the Broncos are driving again. Lang up the gut, right to the 34-yard line. Raiders still holding to that 4-point lead over the Eagles now in the 4th quarter at Los Angeles. Broncos using a lot of clock. Emmanuel King with a personal foul call. It might be critical in the outcome of this game. It kept the drive downfield for Denver, gave them a first down, and now the Broncos have driven down to the 35-yard line. Field goal gives them a 9-point lead. Elway screens it off, incomplete. Eddie Edwards was coming on the rush, 73. Tipped the ball.
Almost stuck in his face mask, Don. They were trying to set it up to Wilhite, it looked like.
Raiders came from behind in that game with the Eagles when Jim Plunkett threw a second touchdown pass to Jesse Hester. An 81-yard play. Raiders holding to a 24-20 lead. Now 3rd down for Elway and the Broncos. They need 7. 34-28 Denver. 6:13 to play. Elway gets it away, and it's broken up. Lewis Phillips, the rookie cornerback, comes up and pops Watson just as the ball comes in. Now will they punt it or go for a long field goal tried by Carlos?
And I think they got to punt the football. This is a little out of Carlos's range. This is a good play by Phillips, just getting Watson's hands down, and it looked like contact before the ball. Emmanuel King with pressure on Elway. He couldn't really follow through to get it there in a hurry, but what they need right now is a towering punt by Mr. Horan.
Mike Horan punting for the Broncos for the first time. Has had 4 there today. None have been returned. Ray Horton is back again. 6:06 to play in the game. The Bengals are going to get the ball back, trailing by 6. Moran angling near side. It'll go in. Out to the 20, and there the Patriots who today won by a point at New Orleans to win their 7th straight game and tie the Jets for first in the AFC East, both at 10-3. The Cleveland Browns, who are right now the leader in the AFC Central, having won today at 9-4, their record. They go into Buffalo to play the Bills. That will not be easy for the Browns. Denver goes to Kansas City. The Chiefs always tough at home. Right now, that Rocky Mountain Thunder, the foot stamping, starts up at Mile High. Esiason looping it long. Downfield, he's got Collinsworth again out to the 43-yard line. And Collinsworth gets out of bounds with 5:53 to play. A 23-yard gain.
That's his 8th reception of the day. For some strange reason, the Denver Bronco defense has just gone to sleep here. 138 yards. Would take away the turnovers by the Bengals, and they're right in this football game.
They're right in it anyway.
They come back and win this football game and keep it close. They got newfound respect for me.
McGee, a super fast player, is on the near flank. Collinsworth at the top of your screen. Stanley Wilson breaks it and goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Running ahead, they're going to spat him out. Very close to a first down. Might be just a foot or so short of one. A 9.5-yard gain by Wilson, who scored the first touchdown of the day on a 20-yard bust up the middle.
Tony Lilly finally on the tackle to get Wilson out of bounds. This is so unlike the Denver Bronco defense. In the first half, you can see Dan Reeves saying, "What are you doing to me here, Joe?" The big plays again have been the reason the Bengals have gotten back in this game. They were the reason that they were so close in the first half.
Dan Reeves yelling out to his defense to get it together. Right now, the Cincinnati Bengals moving virtually at will through the Denver defense with the passing game. Cincinnati had to go to an all-out passing game. They were trailing with the Bengals in the fourth quarter, 34-14. Randall Cunningham has just thrown a 10-yard touchdown pass to Mike Quick of the Eagles. And with 11:35 left to play at Los Angeles, it is the Eagles 27, the Raiders 24.
Tell you one thing about this Bengal football team, certainly shown its character in this second half, have they not?
They really have. It's cold in Denver, but wind is not a factor.
It's colder for Denver right now than it is the Bengals.
Second down, less than a yard for Cincinnati. Bengals down by 6 with 5:48 to play. Wilson again, and Stanley Wilson gets out of bounds again down to the 36-yard line. Mecklenburg ran him out, but all of a sudden, when the Bengals were seemingly out of this game, somebody hit the go button and they've taken off.
On that time, they caught the Broncos in a blitz. Collier trying to disrupt the Bengals offense as best he possibly could, and they run the play to the corner. And you see Joe Collier.
He's
giving
nervous
his
when
signals.
they're ahead.
Oh.
When they're up by 20, he's nervous. One of the best in the business at his specialty, coordinating the defense. But the defense is not in sync right now. The Bengals are moving the ball and quickly through Denver. Eddie Brown in motion. Eddie Brown incomplete. Brown looked out. Dyson went up the middle. It'll be second down and 10.
And the Bengals have gone over 400 yards total offense today. That's the 4th week in a row against Minnesota, Seattle, the Oilers, and now 417 against the Broncos.
The other 3 were all wins to get the Bengals to 8-4.
Right now, the Bronco defense has got to be thinking, wait a minute, what can we come up here with? Because that time, even though Esiason threw it to the wrong side of Eddie Brown was open. They're not covering him for some reason right now.
Does White send all the play to?
All of them, every one of them. Although Esiason has the choice, he can run audibles.
Crowd noise intense for Esiason on second down and 10. A blitz, a looping ball downfield. It is almost intercepted. They were going to Collinsworth, but Steve Wilson got a hand on the ball. Filing pattern against a full blitz. Just hoped that Collinsworth would run under it. Wilson doing a good job defending.
And you ask about all the plays coming in from the bench. This is obviously an audible. And I'll tell you, Wilson's not looking back for the football. They could have thrown the flag there on interference, but the replay is not involved in penalties involving interference. So it brings up 3rd down and 10. Obviously, 2-down area for the Bengals.
Biggest down of the game so far for Cincinnati. 3rd down and 10 at the 37-yard line. Bengals down by 6. 5:33 to play.
Oh, no.
That snap. Esiason doesn't get the ball. Looks like a Bengal did get it, but way back at the 41-yard line.
Don, the crowd did that. The ball was snapped, and Esiason was looking around. It ends up being a 22-yard loss, but when you run from the shotgun, you always stand a chance that there's going to be miscommunication. See, Boomer's not looking at the football. It's snapped by Remington, and they're very lucky to recover. Extremely lucky. Eddie Brown comes up with it, and the Bengals are going to have to punt.
Still a lot of time remaining, so the Broncos very nearly get a turnover that would have probably put the lid on. But right now, Hayes is in to punt. He hits an end-over-end punt at Gerald Wilhite. He'll run it back from the 22. He pays at the 28. Broncos still without a turnover. A 38-yard punt, a 6-yard return. And now with 4:38 left to play in the game, the Broncos with a 34-28 lead send their offense out.
That's the way it stands right now. With the wins today, that snap punt, the crowd did that. The center did not hear the count by the quarterback. When they played in Houston, the Bengals had a miscommunication between center and quarterback costing the game.
Two teams are in the playoffs officially, both in the National Conference. The Bears and the Skins with their 11th victories today. Handoff to Sammy Winder on a slant. He's out to the 35-yard line where Crumrye drilled him, but Winder gets ahead for a good gain on 1st down. To those viewers who have just joined us to watch Our House, please stay tuned. Our House will be seen in its entirety immediately following NFL football, except for Mountain and Pacific time zone stations, where the program will be seen in its regular time. And stay tuned for Skins game golf on the West Coast only. Following the NFL is right now Elway with 2nd down and 4. Pitches back. Gene Lang. 1st down. Up in those legs. That piston drive. An LSU Tiger trying to bust it, and he does get the 1st down for Denver.
This is just a well-orchestrated sweep by the Broncos. Get those big guys out in front. Good lead blocking. Lang hanging on the football, got turned upfield, and he picks up 4 yards for the 1st down. Ends up being a 7-yard gain.
Bengals have turned the ball over in this game 3 times. The Denver Broncos have turned the ball over not at all. 3:20 to play. Clock running. 34-28 Denver. 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Winder, not much. Got to the 46. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Bengals now got to be thinking about calling timeouts. Your defense can save you time. If you call a timeout, your offense with incomplete passes and passes out of bounds can stop the clock. And the offense has to have some time to function down 6 points.
Eagles still leading the Raiders on the Randall Cunningham to Mike Quick touchdown pass in the 4th quarter, but they scored it with over 11 minutes remaining. A lot of time left there as you see our game clock here in Denver down to 2:35 and running. Elway throws, and is it caught by Mark Jackson?
Yes.
He thinks it is.
Yes, excellent catch.
Tremendous play by the rookie. Mark Jackson comes up and gets it right off the turf, and it's another 1st down for the Broncos.
Lewis Phillips was the man in coverage. This is really a rifle shot. I thought he made the catch. Phillips is signaling no catch, and he should try to get him on the ground. Zander finally makes the tackle, and eventually now the Bengals take a timeout. They have 2 left.
2:15 to play. They'll get another timeout, an official one when it goes down to the 2-minute warning. So a very big play by a rookie who's made a lot of them in his first season at Denver. Mark Jackson catching the ball off the turf for a first down, and the ball now positioned at the 43-yard line of Cincinnati. Bengals have scored the last 14 points in this game to come to within 6.
Try to pick up the ball and the catch. Looks like a catch by Mark Jackson. His 4th of the day for 79 yards and his first NFL touchdown. And you mentioned earlier a couple of times that the Bengals have gotten no breaks. Hurt themselves. The snap by Remington. The offsides by Scow. The fumbled punt return by Ray Horton. The fumble by Chris Collinsworth. And the Broncos in position here now to have control of this football game again.
This is on top of it, and there's been a lot of big plays in the game, and more to follow with 2:15 to play as the Broncos break their offensive huddle with 2nd down and 10 coming up.
That's 1st and 10, Don. They got 2nd and 10 on the marker. It's first and 10.
Elway heading for the sideline, turning upfield, and John Elway's down to the 36-yard line. He stays in bounds, and that'll take the clock down to the 2-minute warning.
He's the only guy in the offense that the defense doesn't account for. Jackson ran the cornerback off, and Elway was able to pick up some needed yardage, but the Bengals take another timeout with 2:06 remaining.